If you are about to spend hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars on a mastering engineer, this simple vetting trick could save anyone a lot of money, save you from obtaining lower quality mastering results, and most importantly, save anyone from disappointment and aggravation. So stick around and watch this video till the end to learn the answer. Now, please realize that this vetting trick may not work with many mastering professionals from other countries, as is intended mainly for English speaking countries or artists that are basically in Western countries and who are or can potentially be nominated for a Grammy or any other music award. So you may find sometimes looking for a mastering engineer online and you find a website, you read what the engineer who wrote that studio website said, and you decide, I'm going to take a chance with this mastering engineer. Then you go and you check the rates, and you find out that the charges per mastered song are 50, 60, 70, maybe even over $100. And what if you're just being taken for a ride? Because watching or looking at a website is one thing, and being in the studio is another. And trust me, there's a lot that you can actually manipulate on a web page that doesn't reflect reality. Professional mastering versus amateur mastering. So, what is the definition of professional? Professional is someone who professes and whose livelihood depends on a particular activity or skill, often engaged in by amateurs. Several years ago, I would say it was around 2018, I had a conversation with the Recording Academy's legal department. I was speaking to an agent who told me that they were always confirming credentials using allmusic.com. And immediately I remembered how much that platform was mentioned to me by other producers and engineers. And the thing is great in order to list work credits. If you've done mixing or mastering, or you've been a composer and you have music that you have released. In the old days, this platform would only really list music that was either on vinyl or CD format. And that also included, of course, cassettes. So you had to be a real pro and be on a label in order to get listed in this database. The thing was that as the years went by, streaming came out, and now they are accepting streaming. They are accepting the digital format for downloadable files, and that is considered a sale of a record. So obviously, not every single platform qualifies, but Spotify is certainly accepted. So if you have your music on Spotify, the allmusic.com database will accept that record as a record that was released, and all the credits will be listed, and that would include obviously the mastering engineer, right? So back in the old days, you will send the CD, but not to the actual website because they don't accept music from anybody. They rely on a third-party company that does the review. Okay, they'll review your submission, and if you send the record according to their instructions, they will then list this on that database and many other databases, because this company not only deals with music but also deals with films and videos, right, at a professional level. The point here is that if you follow the instructions, you can send your music, and if you are a label, as a label, it would be someone working for the A&R representative or the A&R person. And if you are master engineer and you have, like most professional mastering facilities have interns, they will have the job to actually prepare the files or prepare the materials and go to the post office perhaps and send this materials to the third-party company. Now, once that is received, that will be listed at the allmusic.com database. So here is what one mastering engineer will have to do. If one doesn't have an intern working for him or for her, then one will have to do it oneself. There's no way around it. You have to fill out the forms and put all the details enclosed with the materials and send that to the third-party company. So now that the music has become mainly in digital form as downloadable digital files, you can do this process very effectively completely online. Now, I'm going to reveal the name of this third-party company in another video because this goes beyond the scope of this video. So I'm going to provide the name of the company and instructions to submit your own music so that it can be listed on allmusic.com. Okay, so I'm going to show you. Go to allmusic.com using your browser, and you get to the site. Once you're there, there is a search box at the top. Enter the name of the engineer. I'm going to use my own name so that you can see how someone will be listed on this website. Now, as you can see, my name is there, but the credits, in order to access the credits, you have to click on the name, and you can see that a new page opens up, and there are the credits for specific releases. If you see the word mastering, then you know that this person is indeed a mastering engineer or has done commercial releases. Something to note about allmusic.com is that they list 3 types of categories: artist, song, and album. I would say do not pay too much attention to that because the information you want is within the list of credits. And yeah, there is some annoying ads everywhere. but I guess they have to make a living somehow, some way, and they have lots of ads from Google. And that's the only annoying part about the service, but it's a free service, information for free basically. So now let's talk about why pay more for a professional mastering engineer. You pay more because you are getting someone who has a fine-tuned mastering room. He uses professional grade mastering tools, and he has years of experience, which means that he has gone through a gamut of music records. Also, the higher the sale of vinyls, CDs, music downloads, and music streams, the higher the rate for mastering to be expected. If this is a legitimate professional mastering engineer, he will have help with the sale of many records. Most common amateur mastering engineers are mixing engineers and people advertising mastering on sites like Upwork or Fiverr. Now, you just can't wear two hats when it comes down to doing production. Either you're going to be mixing or you're going to master. It's two different state of mind, two different. It really requires a separate video to explain why a mixing engineer is not the best choice to master anything. So I would say a mastering engineer that has a big console and big mixing console, that is, I would suggest getting away from that. Certainly not invest heavily on someone who is mainly a mixing engineer. And these are only guidelines. These are not rules cast on stone. So you should really make sure that you have done your due diligence. Now, this is not to say that someone who is advertising mastering services on Upwork or Fiverr is not a professional. They could be professionals and have perfectly fine-tuned mastering rooms and everything and been done this for many years. So the thing is, if you do the vetting through allmusic.com, you will probably feel a little better knowing that your money is well invested in someone who is really done the work in the past and provides great services. I say this because it's very easy to make something sound louder, and by default, you think you're getting a real professional mastering job. But unless you are out there testing your music on every possible playback system, you're not going to know if you have a great mastering job. And sometimes you are not going to know until it's way too late. And there's just no way that the person, and it wouldn't be fair either, to be honest, to ask the person who did the mastering to refund your money because you decided you're going to take it to someone else. It's a kind of slippery slope, and you have these different variables added to it. Circumstances change from mastering studio to mastering studio, mastering engineer to mastering engineer. So to recap, doing the AllMusic Check is nothing but a vetting process to determine whether a person has at one point in his life mastered a commercial release. If you're willing to pay upwards of $70 per song, you need to make sure you're getting value for your money and that you are not paying to finance someone's delusional convictions. If you found this video to be informative to your career, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who shares similar interests, and stay tuned for the next videos, which I should be making in the coming days. I appreciate it. This is EV. Have a great day. God bless.